Hey YouTube. Alright, today I want to talk to you about my plans for next year. So, as I've told you before, about 30% of my total income goes directly to long-term investments. Included in that long-term investment thing is actually, most of it actually goes towards 401ks, IRAs, rental property, stuff like that. But I do keep some for stuff that I personally manage. And right now, I use Robinhood as my personal thing. Full disclosure, as promised, I will tell you whenever I'm trying to pitch something to you. I love Robinhood for its ease of access and no fees on trading stocks. I think it's a great program. I'm not going to do a review or show you how to do it because I think there's too many people on YouTube that can do it a lot better than I can. They actually can set up the recording so you can see their screen as they do it. I will tell you what I'm investing in, but because of my secretive nature, I get a little worried about showing you guys the actual footage from any of my accounts and stuff. It's just that I think that's a little too much sharing, and unless I want to go out and make phony accounts just to show you how it works, I don't really think it's worth it to really describe how everything works. But if you do want to learn more about Robinhood, there are a lot of good videos about it. I know Stephen Graham does a good video about it. Give you a brief overview. It's basically an app that lets you invest very easily into stocks. When you first load it, it already has some Fortune 500 stocks that we've all heard of. It has stuff like Tesla, Apple, Facebook, it's designed for millennials, so it's a very millennial-centric thing. So when you invest in it, I think your first deposit, you actually get a free stock. I ended up getting Groupon, I think, which has gone down from like $3 since I first got it to like $1. But okay, it was free. I mean, I still made $1. I'm going to include a link to my link to Robinhood in the description below. If you guys want it, you can use my link, and then we each get, I think, like a free $5 in our account. Or maybe it's a free stock. I forget which one it is. If you want to use Robinhood but not use my link, that's totally fine. I don't, I'm not doing this to get links from Robinhood. So whatever you feel is best, you can do. And I'm not even saying Robinhood's the best app for stocks. It's just a good app that I use because I like it. Now, the reason I bring up Robinhood is because on Robinhood, I'm starting to develop my own system, and it's actually my system for investing next year. Now, in order to invest next year, you kind of have to have an idea of what you think is going to happen. I think that after the election in November, the economy is going to be kind of stagnant. I don't think it's going to go down, but I don't think it's going to shoot up either. The reason being is that GDP has been relatively, not flat, but it hasn't been climbing at the same rate as the stock market. The stock market's been climbing a lot higher than GDP has, which I know most people will be like, well, duh, the stock market isn't an exact indicator of the economy. And I realize that. So what I've been trying to do is figure out, well, if stocks aren't going up, how am I going to invest? How am I going to make money off of it? So I came up with a plan for dividends. I've been very heavily investing in dividend stocks. I just put money in BP, put money in Ford. That's what my research has been around. What's paying the highest dividends? The reason being is because if I'm wrong and the stock market shoots up, okay, no harm there. I simply make money from the dividends, and I make money from the actual equity that was produced by the increase of the stock price. Not a problem. If it goes down, that sucks. But I'm still making money off the dividend. And if it stays the same, then I'm still making money off the dividend, and I'm not losing anything off that. So the thing is that I'm sure some people have other strategies. I know cryptocurrency is like a big thing right now, and everybody wants to talk about like, oh yeah, cryptocurrency, that's going to be what's big when the next stock market crashes. And that very well may be true. I'm not an expert. It's just that I don't know that to be true enough to risk a sizable amount of my money in it. So maybe, like I put a couple $100 in the cryptocurrency, I'm messing with it day to day. But that's kind of it for that. So my plan is to try to leverage as much dividends as possible over the next year. If the stock market does remain stagnant or it shoots up greatly, I'm not going to invest in the stock market anymore as much as I am now, because I generally do not like investing a lot when it goes up. I'll still keep my 401k, my IRA contributions, but I'm not going to contribute anything additional to the stock market. So in that case, if it shoots up, then I'm just going to pay off debt. I think 2021 will be a year of paying down debt. I have 5 major debts I need to worry about. You guys already know my two mortgages. I have the solar power loan, and then I also have 2 student loans I don't think I've talked about on this channel before. The 2 student loans are co-signed, or I co-signed on them with my ex-wife. So she pays them, but I'm still responsible for them. So I'm going to leave them alone, because if I'm not paying them, then I don't care. It's actually just helping my credit because of the how long the student loans have been out for, because we've had them for like 12 years. So with the other debts I have, I'm going to try paying them down. I'd really like to pay down the solar power loan because it's the highest interest. And then it also would help me out if I ever need to sell the house they're attached to, because it's one less complication attached. It's, you know, having a loan for solar panels on the roof of a house and trying to sell the house, there's actually a possibility where I could sell the house and then I still have the loan to pay for each month. And I just would feel better if that's paid off. And also it's the lowest. And I'm a big fan of the snowball effect when it comes to paying off debt, where I know logic says a lot of times you should pay off the one with the highest interest first, but I've been telling people pay off the one that you can pay off the soonest first, because I think that for most people it creates a better mentality when you're like, okay, I got something paid off. This is mainly how it works with credit cards and stuff, but in this case, I would be able to pay off my solar loan before I pay off the houses. So that's what I'm going to pay off first. And then once I get the houses paid off, or the solar loan paid off, then I can roll that money into whatever I want. And by that time, I now am making, not only am I getting free electricity for my house, but I'm also making money because I'm selling electricity back to the grid. And I don't have the loan anymore to pay off. So that's all just money back in my pocket, which would actually allow me to do more payments into my rentals or whatever I decide to do. But that's only if, that whole plan is only if the market shoots up, like absurdly shoots up. If it just slowly climbs, then that's not really a big deal. I'm talking about more of like a bubble type situation, because I'm not buying stock while it's on its way up at certain levels. If the market goes down, and this is the last scenario I'll talk about, because I already talked about if it stays the same, I already talked about if it goes up. So if it goes down, what am I going to do? If the market goes down, then my main thing is I'm going to try buy another rental property. That's like my main goal right now. With the market going down, I should be able to get something for pretty cheap. And then when markets go down, usually there's a flood of renters, so I'll be able to rent it out without any problem. So that's going to be like my main strategy for next year. And then if I get a property and I rent it out, then the equity built up in there also goes towards my final goal, which is my $500,000 by the end of next year. So there you go. There's an overview of sort of how I plan on getting to where I want to get at the end of next year. This strategy might not work for everybody, and I am definitely not giving you advice on what you should do with your money. Your money is probably one of the most important things to you outside of your family and your pets. But it definitely, this is just my strategy. Do your own research and try to find the information you need to find out to make yourself feel most comfortable with it. Well, with that said, I'm going to get going now. So keep saving and let me know your strategies. I'd love to hear them. See you later.